Hello students, during the last class we have discussed about the role of the system analyst, and now we shall move on with another topic, and the name of the topic is system planning and initial investigation. So now we shall go deeply what is system planning all about. System planning is the process of setting goals, and it is here only the various developing strategies is being brought so that they can accomplish a perfect goal. And especially planning the information system in the business is very important in today's competitive environment. Planning is very important so that I have a long run in today's generation. If the project we built it doesn't move in a long run, so that project becomes useless. The developers should think that their project will grow across the globe, not only for a short term but for a long run. And it also need to make the business to retain in adverse condition, because information is very important recourse for any company to be managed, and it is equally important as the cash, personal, etc. Information is very important for the company to manage, because without information they cannot do anything. They need the information regarding the daily basis, they need the information regarding the money and the projects, how it be developed, and when they sell the project how much they will earn. So for this reason they need a proper planning. The second, we have the financial resources are committed to the information system. Even the financial resources should be committed to the information system. The third, we have to make the system growing and retain the competitive environment. We should make a system grow. A system should not be stagnant, but each and every developer should make a very beautiful system so that it will grow. The next, we have basis for planning and system analysis. This topic is based on which foundation we need the planning, or the system planning should be laid on which basis. Information is very important resource and must be managed. All the information which a company gets or the company gathers is very important, and it should be managed very properly, because before developing anything they should have a proper understanding of the system. They should gather all the information. The second, we have, as computer system are becoming integral to business operation, management is paying more attention to their development. We should need a very proper planning while we are developing a software, because these days everyone is using computer, and even the businessmen they need the computer system so that their tasks will be handled very easily. For this reason they should make a software which is able to handle the people's task. The third, we have, there is growing need for formal long range planning with information with informational system that are complex, require months or years to build. A planning should also be formal for a long range, because if there are projects which require months or year to build, in companies there used to be a very large project, very big project, and for this it require a very formal planning. Without a formal planning the company cannot achieve its goals. Suppose, even in the company or in any job, you can see the developers or the people, the employees, they don't stick in the same company for many years. Sometimes they used to move out, they used to leave the company within few months, and when they leave, there should be someone who will take up the task of completing the project. So for this reason, a proper planning should be needed, and they have to jot down all the points so that they will transfer the tasks which are doing to the other person. For this reason also, the company should have a very proper planning. Suppose if an employee leaves the company within few months, obviously the project manager won't give a very large task or a very big task to a person who is going to leave the company very soon. He will just give a small project to him. Therefore, planning is very important. Now, we'll look about the dimensions of planning. Or the planning should be on which strategies of the business. So let's move on with the points. Due to high interest rates, it becomes very important that the business earns a good return investment. There should be a very proper planning so that a company will earn a very good profit. No one will want to develop something in which the company will face losses. Obviously, there should be a very proper planning so that they will achieve a very good return. They will receive a very good money or profit in return. If inflation occurs, then there is pressure on profit. If there is a loss, so there is a pressure on profit. Suppose if the project which they are made and they have published in the real world, so sometimes when they can find that they are facing losses, and sometimes it goes high, the interest rate goes up and decreases, and sometimes there is no users who are using that project which they have developed. Obviously, they will face losses because they have spent so much in building the project. The third, we have resource pressure puts pressure on expansion. Students, here I made mistake, but you just correct it when you jot down the points. It should be resource shortage. It should be resource shortage puts pressure on expansion. Here, when there is resource shortage, obviously it will put pressure on expansion. Resource here means the business capital. When there is a shortage in the income of the organization, it will put pressure on expanding it. If there is no income in the company, obviously anything which they make, it might flourish, but there will be a pressure in expanding anything because for advertising also they need money, lots of money. Due to regulatory constraints, slow entry into the market. There are also companies which puts restriction, and this restriction leads a slow entry into the market. Obviously, there are companies who are based on the rules and regulation, but too much over rules is not good for anything. The rules should be balanced. Increased productivity paved the way for expansion. If there is productivity, there is expansion. During the next class, we shall talk about the initial investigation. What is initial investigation all about? Let me just give you a brief introduction about initial investigation. To start a system investigation, we need to master the plan detailing the steps to be taken. Before starting the investigation, we need to plan first. We need to master all the plans which is needed to take the specific action. Here, the investigation is being carried by questioning the people by various questionnaires, and its aim of investigation is to define the user requirements, what are the requirements which is needed, and also to study the present system to verify the problem. The third point we have defining the performance accepted by the candidate system to meet the user requirement. In the third point, it means that a system analyst should know the present system, because if a customer comes, if the customer who already have a software with him, he comes and he wants to do some modification based on that software, obviously the system analyst should know everything. He should know what are the requirements, he should study the present system, he should know the problem so that he will be able to solve it. So we'll discuss it very properly during the next class. Thank you, students.